I'm going to start going through, there's some housekeeping, and we got to explain the time jump. All right, so after the Travelnestran festival, we were called back, we went back to Eslock, met up with some of Gin's Celinda contacts about a portal that had opened up in the swamps of Hagmarsh because Aldridge had heard a rumor about it previously when we were there, so we had decided to come back and investigate. And one of Gin's Celinda partners, a ranger named Remy, led us out there. And in the forest, the Elder Woods, while making our way through there, we got attacked by an eyeless, laughing horror creature with horns that was like bull rushing us. It chased us, and we ran into the Hellmouth, which was like magically hidden. And all hell broke loose, as they say. And we fought a bunch of infernal cultists. They summoned another hellish ogre, hellspawn ogre type creature. At one point he said, "Asmodeus, grant me breath once more," and started proceeding to try to kill us. But as a group, we were able to take him down. There was like 5 burning cultists, 1 hellspawn ogre. And Hazeltine, the dark cleric, was there. And he was the person...
Great golf course in Minnesota.
Was the very person that gave us the rumor, that was telling the scary stories in the tavern that Aldrich had overheard and asked about.
Oh shit, I don't remember that.
Yeah, so Hazeltine, he like at some point said his own name, so like Aldrich was able to draw that connection. And he was trying to, the Infernal Cultists were trying to summon a permanent portal, and they actually succeeded. We killed all the creatures that came out of it, but as we approached, there's a bunch of creatures that also were just like already out and running into the world, and we obviously weren't able to stop them. But in a pivotal moment, a figure that Gin knew of, known as the Shroud, speaking in a raspy and shadowy voice, appeared from within the trees. He had incorporeal movement, and he let the party know that the Hellmouth was not uncommon, and portals like this were opening in other places, and he helped us fight back the creatures. He's like a supernatural figure, like basically like a ghost Batman that lives in Eldor, that Gin kind of looked up to. And yeah, he helped us fight the thing, and then we all went our separate ways. That's kind of... So from there, the time jump, something Gin would have directed the party to do is we went back to Shagar, which was the orcish city where we kind of started our journey. We were meeting up with one of Bud's old contacts, a orc sorceress named Yohani, who, along with her trusty cat, arcane cat Felix, she's a cartographer and a sorcerer, and she gave us a rough sketch of a map that led us to the dungeon that we started in the first session at, south of Zelvaka, over like the land bridge. It was on the coast, and she led us there because she said that that was the location of an ancient map that we ended up finding in our daring escape from that place, known as the Occultus Sicarius. That was the map that we then went to Eslock to try to decipher, and that's when we got caught up in Edrin was the wizard that we tried to get it deciphered by. So all of that coming full circle, we are now taking the map which has been deciphered and leads to these essentially temples or sources of power of deities across the realm, some known, some unknown. And Gin would have directed us back to Shagar to show Yohani the result of our prize after, I guess, almost months now after we'd originally met up with her, to help us confirm its authenticity, now seeing it readable due to Edrin's deciphering of the map. Yohani imparts to the team, or to the party, that the nature of the map is confirmed in the sense that it's, like I just said, it shows the sources of power for certain gods, demigods, and deities, both known and unknown. Per its terms, these locations, these temples, these dungeons, are how these gods make their presence known across the plains, or so it is said in the myths surrounding this map. They're widespread across many known and unknown pantheons, as I said. And each on the map itself, on the physical parchment, each locale is marked by, each godlike entity's locale is marked by a symbol. You see the symbol for Lathander, you see the symbol for Moradin. Lathander's like the god of light, Moradin's a dwarven god of like honor. You see a symbol for Asmodeus. You see many other symbols you cannot recognize, but in general, in a full deciphering of the map, along with Yohani, who's the expert in these sorts of things, you see most of the well-known gods of the world are there, but it's difficult to decipher where exactly in the world they are because of kind of how it was deciphered. And it doesn't seem clear from Yohani's perspective what the true purpose of these sacred sites is, outside of the fact that they are sacred and they hold the power of these different gods. But Yohani would reiterate that the ancient Quasitoran Adventuring League, which has returned to prominence and was the original party that found the location of this map, seemed to value this map for its capability to lead them, these adventuring groups, to great treasures of some kind. And as we spend a couple days with Yohani, there's another curious aspect of the map that the party notices in the time that we've been carrying it around and the time that Yohani's inspecting it and it's in her possession. Some of the symbols for the locales indicated on the map change over time, slightly or dramatically, and no one is sure why. So from here, the party, essentially to experiment with the veracity of the map, we go to some of the locales. And I'm going to say these are like short little small encounters that I'm just going to describe. We go to 2 of them, and then we're going to start our little session here on the third one that we go to, which we soon learn is a little bit more involved. But these first 2 were just little vignettes that I'm just going to read off. And we're not really sure what these gods are because of the way the map is deciphered. But we go there to see what's what, as an adventuring party would do. And this is kind of what happened, just to show this time jump. Like, it's in the time that we haven't played in real life, the party's been doing this, let's say.
Sure.
So the party goes to the first locale for this little experiment on the map, not too far from where the map was discovered. North of the Sea of Fire, south of the Zelvakin Peninsula, the land bridge. A map marked a spot within a small jungled area on the outskirts of the Zelvakin kind of jungles, before the land rises above the 2 seas, that of the fire and ice, which is the land bridges in between those 2, if you were to look at the map. And in this area, there was a small pyramid like structure, about the size of like a 2 or 3 story house, covered in vines, apparently abandoned at time. It still managed to stick out within the landscape, however. That's why we were drawn to it. And as the party approached, kind of not knowing, not really encountering many dangers or threats thus far in our travel, within the pyramid was a hollowed out room making up kind of the full shape of the pyramidal structure. And throughout this space, as we soon see, it's kind of well lit as there's some light coming in, natural light coming in through the pyramid. There's a complex network of gates. And this one, actually, we do know the god. This is the site, the map tells us, Gaiara, goddess of gates. So inside the pyramid, we find little, like, kind of like frames that make up, like door frames almost, but of different sizes and shapes, arranged on the ground and spiraling above, some floating frozen in air, appearing magically in that way, and some around a central podium, in which there is a figure of a woman, a statue, azure, blue and red lustrous spiraling colors upon the statue, and its hands are outstretched, upon which there lies a small cube. And the form of the woman is an adult. She is tall, has a lean build. She has azure blue hair, and it goes all the way down to her feet and resembles almost a waterfall. There's almost like droplets of water. She has small, beady eyes that are green, almost like emerald colored in the statue. She is portrayed as wearing a flattering outfit covered in rectangular designs, and she has a brooch on her over her breast. She has green skin, appears orcish in nature, and she carries a shiv. And from our understanding of religion, whoever would be the religion expert, we know in the myths she sometimes appears in the form of a monkey. And as the party explores this, we soon find out these simple, relatively simple thresholds, gold, silver, clear in color. When you walk through one of these gates, the person walking through it ends up on the other side of the room, across in another threshold. And some of these thresholds are high in the air, 100 feet, as this tall pyramid. All these thresholds are within the inside of this pyramid. And after walking through one after another, some are closer to the center where the statue is and the cube lies, and that's presumably where we're trying to get. Some are much further, and we kind of experiment going through. And I guess to resolve this, everyone can roll a d20 to see which of us reaches the cube first. How do I roll dice? In Roll20. So, Aldrich, narrowly, Aldrich and Bud are kind of running through the gates, and you get there right before Bud, and you're able to snatch the cube off of the hands. This is presumably the treasure of this Gaiara, goddess of gates, off of her hands, of her statue, and you gain whatever this item is. I don't know what this is. I can put a link in here. You don't know what this item is. It's wild, though. It is a metal box. It's a cube metal box. On each side, it has a red circle gemstone, and each gemstone has a different symbol. For example, a triangle with a line through it, an X mark, like kind of what you'd find on the back of a Black Widow, three-pronged mountains, and you would 100% have to get this identified. If you had the identify spell, then we would know what it is. Actually, I would say you would need to get this professionally identified. This is quite an item.
The most magic thing.
It's very magic. It's very, very magic. So that's like the first little site we went to. So it's like Gaiara, the goddess of gates. This is a kind of lesser known, obscure goddess. And part of the reason why we went to her site first was because it was really close to Shigar, where we happened to be. And it didn't seem like it would be that difficult of a challenge, whatever we were to face. And it turns out it wasn't. It was just this weird pyramid with a bunch of teleportation gates in it. So I would say the next location that we visit, the second one, is sometime later. It's on the edge of the Deepwood, south of Eldor Mountains, and continuing east past Shigar. So this is on the other side of the mountains, if you look at the world map. And this is another god we know. This is Okesis. This is a demigod of prophetic cunning. I'll put both of these in the... This is another rather obscure god that happens to be in the area. So this is in the Deepwood, on the edge of the Deepwood, so it's another forested type wild area. And as the group approached this site, indicated upon the map, as we were traveling, we began to be trailed by a group of foxes, a benign skulk of foxes, because that is the plural of a group of foxes. I say benign because, they're foxes, they're predators, but we're not necessarily prey, we're too big. So they kind of, as we're traveling through, this group of them started following us. More and more of them got kind of near us, and they were following us as much as we were following them. Small orange creatures. Some of them paid us no mind. Others kind of got close enough to try to smell us, and maybe Darcy or Bud, being a man of the forest, gave him a little snuggle, little pet on the head.
Are they scared of my zombies that are following me now?
They definitely would have strayed clear of the zombies. They probably wouldn't have even, they would have just avoided them, not even, because they're kind of smelling us, and zombies don't give off a smell that they would be interested in. Or would
I got a lot of zombies now.
So how many zombies are following us at any given time? One?
Right now we'll just say 2.
2? Okay, so you're like...
I can have up to 6.
You're like the character from The Walking Dead that has 2 zombies on like a leash at all times.
No, my zombies are named and not on leashes.
Okay. I think in the lore, her zombies... What is her name? Alex, what was her name in The Walking Dead?
Michonne?
Michonne! Michonne!
Carl.
Michonne's like the best character. But her
She's
two
still
zombies
fucking
were like,
alive.
It was her... Well, she's like a main character. It was her brother and her husband. So that's why it was terrible. Because she kept them. She had cut off their arms so they couldn't hurt her. and she just kept him with her. But then eventually she kills him. So following these foxes, them following us on the clearing at the edge of the forest,
They use Mage Hand.
we found
Pet him.
a statue. Okay, so you are petting him, that's confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
We see the foxes run ahead into this clearing, and there's kind of this whole area where these foxes are playing, jumping around, basking in the sunlight as it's a clearing with no trees overhead blocking the sun. This is where they're gathering to lay and play around. And it's another statue. It's a cloaked humanoid figure, apparently a male, donning a bright orange and black fox mask of his own on his face. In one hand, the statue wields a hand of tarot cards, half revealed, and in the other hand is a dagger. And at the base of the statue is a plaque that's actually presenting the name of this so-called demigod of prophetic cunning named Okesis. And on the bottom of this plaque, Okesis lays out a verbal warning to visitors of his shrine. Don't try to look forward if you're not prepared to look back. And as we kind of inspect this, there's this pristine image of these baby foxes and adult foxes playing around in the small grass around us, and we're looking at this shrine and we read this. And as we take in this message, the group party is soon accosted by another unseen gathering, kind of slipped past our notice. Skulking around in the edge of the clearing around us, a small group of 6 to 7 individuals emerge from the forest. Shorter than men, about the same height as a gnome, perhaps halflings. They emerge behind spaces too small to hide them any longer, all of them also bearing black and orange fox masks of their own and speaking in a language none of us can understand. The skulk of foxes playing on the ground is soon dispersed, and the party is rushed by these figures, and we're drawn into a combat. The fox masked halflings are throwing tarot cards with a razor sharp edge, dodging their way towards us with blades in their hands, using the statue and each other's backs as literal and moral support. However, the party was able to dispatch them relatively easily in defense of our lives, and after expending much of our resources, and as we loot the bodies, so to speak, the fox masks are removed from the fallen humanoids that attacked us, and their faces below are simply covered by another fox mask, and then another, and then another, and then another, and the content of their faces are ultimately unable to be seen or read. And each of the tarot cards we soon find, some of them are stuck in the grass, in the small grass, some of them are stuck in the statue with razor sharp edges, and some of them causing a little bit more of a wound on some of us rather than all of us. And all of these tarot cards are of the same kind. They are all the Judgment card. And that is the second shrine we go to. There's no treasure there. It was just, we were ambushed by these fox-masked halflings. And now, the beginning of this adventure. So a few weeks later, we're traveling around. Maybe we go back to Yohani to tell her about these 2 shrines and what we found, and we give her the cube for her to try to find a wizard powerful enough to figure out what it is. Our identify spells didn't work. But we're back to full strength. A few weeks later, the party is heading towards the next spot on the map. This one is an unknown symbol. We don't know which god this is, but based on the prominence and the kind of complexity of it, it seems like it's pretty important. And this time we're heading back west on a familiar road towards Travelnestra, on a road through Ebos, around massive Mount Balastras, and breaking off the main road northwest onward to the summit of the Blackstone Mountains. And in fact, while the party is heading in this direction, kind of traveling on foot, hitching a ride when we can with merchant caravans, telling stories, as friendly as we can be, as we've used caravans before, kind of making our way this way. There's a point when we're on foot, and we kind of stop, and Darcy notices it first. We bear witness to an oddly, eerily similar landscape, which we all remember as the kind of exact, or as close as you can get in real life, perspective of the painting of the Blackstone Mountains that Argyros' painter, or Argyros himself, painted. That was the very same one that was stolen by Miros and burned in front of us at the height of his tower in Travelnestra, right before he was burned into oblivion as well, immolated by a rotating flaming sphere in a final desperate maneuver to defeat him before things exploded and we were saved by you know who. We kind of take a moment to take in that site because it's rather, what's the word? Serendipitous.
Darcy would try to paint the site and keep painting for a while, with keeping in mind that she might want to give it to Arguus later.
Yeah. Yeah, we would take like
She
maybe
also,
a
she also
short
got
rest
like
there.
way better at painting while she was there,
Right.
if I remember right.
Yeah. Take a short rest there and like kind of take in the site, get some sketches in. That's probably the highlight of this journey. After traveling a little bit longer along this road, another half day, spending some time to rest our legs, eat some of our rations, we find ourselves at our destination, which we find, we didn't really know what to expect, is a large entrance to a cavern, a natural outcropping at the base of the mountain within the Blackstone Range. This destination being the focal point of some unknown deity. The Dark Maw beckons us. So, I'm going to switch everybody over. So we're entering a cavern, and all we know is we're basically just exploring. And this is one of the spots on the Occultus Sicarius, the map of deities, where there is supposedly great treasures to be found at these focal points of the deities and their shrines. We've traveled to 2 of them. This is number 3. But we don't know what the god or goddess is. We're just going in blind, so to speak. But the thrill of the adventure leads us onwards. So y'all should be switched over now. Should see a lot of black. If you don't, then I'm going to have a heart attack.
A lot of black.
Okay,
Holy
scroll
shit.
down to the bottom left.
Oh god.
All right.
Yeah, I told you guys. So the dimensions on this are pretty wild, but
Was this planned for the 12-hour day or for the normal 2-hour sesh?
this was playing 8
We haven't
months ago.
ascended to Elder Dragon form yet, so I assume this is just a normal sesh.
Yeah, we're not
Sure, good
we're not
point,
fighting
good
God just yet. So we kind of travel for about 15 to 20 minutes before we get to the point we're at right now. Everybody can see our characters on here, right?
Yep.
Okay. So make sure your character sheets are updated because all of your tokens are linked to your character sheet: speed, AC, and HP. So if your HP increased or anything, make sure that's updated on your character sheet and on your token. So this is where we're at, and we travel for about 15-20 minutes down, kind of sloping to the left and downward into this cavern, goes kind of zigzags a little bit, and then we get to this point. And the reason we kind of stop here is because it opens up into a wider passage at this point, and we see something of note. It's damp inside the cavern, it's a little bit humid, it's also a little bit chilly, and there's wind coming at us from within the cavern. And I mean, I think all of us have dark vision, so we aren't using lights currently. So you could tell me if you want to turn on a light or anything, or use a torch. But yeah, we're all full health, full everything, have adventuring gear, rations. We're fully loaded, and this is where we're at. And as we approach this, there is some natural light that appears because we see a glowing kind of, it looks from a distance like fungi, because we've been in caverns before, but you could inspect it closer if you want to have more detail. But this is where we're at.
Darcy will inspect the fungus.
Yeah, so you go up and you see that there's condensation on these. It looks like fungus as you're approaching, but then as you get closer, it's these like natural bulbs. There's condensation on them. They're glowing greenish, bluish, and you get a little bit closer, just natural like perception, taking a close look, and you can see kind of black spots within this kind of semi-translucent fungus, and these black spots are moving, and they have little tails. They look like tadpoles, honestly, is what you would compare them to, but they're within this kind of collected bulbous formation of fungus type pod things, and this is the first time we've seen it in the cavern, and you don't recognize it. You could roll a nature to just see what's what, but that's what you see physically. Okay, so yeah, to you, this isn't something you've seen before, but you could draw comparisons to both, as I said, fungus, and almost like with the living little things inside, like eggs, is what you would. Like this has the attributes of both of those things, but you've certainly never seen those two things combined.
Huh. Well, these look like little fungus eggs of some kind. I've never seen them before. So there's two pathways here?
Yeah, looks like it. Well, I mean, this is kind of a small area. As y'all kind of inspecting the scene, you see that kind of circles back in onto itself.
Okay.
I guess it is kind of annoying. I'm gonna have to reveal. I'm doing a reveal simulation. I'm gonna be.
Darcy would take some time and sketch the fungus egg things since she's never seen them before, and like write a couple notes.
Okay. Yin is damn good at persuasion and bad at everything else, or average at everything else.
Does the fungus look like we can like remove it and like not get hurt and take it with us?
You could certainly cut off one of the bulbs. There's kind of like a base underneath it where it's kind of leached to the ground, and then there's these bulbs on top that, like I said, look like mushroom fungus type things, but they're translucent, and I mean they each have like individual things. They're just grouped together, so you could if you tried to remove it all, we don't have like a bag of holding or anything, so it'd be like difficult to carry.
You just take like one small bulb, like not a ton of it, but try to put it in something.
Okay.
Should probably invest in a bag of holding at some point.
Yeah, I mean, at level 6, I would say we probably wouldn't have a bag of holding yet at our level, but I honestly don't know. I don't know how much they are, but for now I'm just gonna say we don't have one. But something you do notice is it looks kind of like, from what I've described, it looks like it's filled with liquid, and whenever you cut it, the bottom stalk that is kind of the thing you cut at and lift it off, it has the properties of, whenever it's freshly cut, like gelatin. So it doesn't spill out liquid as you might have been expecting. So that's another just odd attribute that you notice. So you take one, and there's little black swimmy guys going inside of it. Like, looks like dozens. So you put that in your bag.
Said dozens of what? Black swimmy guys?
Yeah, I said earlier there's like little swimming guys, like black circles with tails, and they look like tadpoles.
Just to make sure your mic was breaking up.
This map's too big.
Alright, I'm gonna add
You've got too many tabs open.
fungus to my backpack.
I have as minimal tabs open as possible. Okay, so Gam would make his little inspection. He can't make heads or tails of it either, and then he'd continue moving.
Let's do it. Darcy's leading the way into darkness. I like it.
Yep, that's how I roll.
are the zombies
Aldous,
going
did you make
forward,
any?
or are you going first?
What's that?
Are the zombies going first, or are you going first?
Right now, probably the zombies are kind of flanking me, like on either side.
Yeah, I can add the zombies to the map. Give me a second.
Yeah. Aldrich, did you make any potions?
Oh shit! Forgot about that.
I mean, I'll give
You got all that alchemy shit now.
We had like
give
8
you
years.
normal amount of potions you'd have on you given this time we've been traveling. Also,
Normal's
don't
like
forget about Root. I have this token here as well. I completely
Root.
forgot about Root.
Because I can't remember what we did for your alchemy kit, but you can like make some dope shit.
yeah. Well, I didn't make anything because I forgot about it, but
I'd say you'd have at least like one potion for each of us, like 4. You know, like you'd have maybe 2 healing and 2 weird effect potions. So let's say we come to another crossroads up here. And
Where's my boy Root?
well, I'm not gonna bring his token out until like you're using him for something specific, because I don't want to have to.
I mean, I would have him. He would be flying ahead right now.
Okay.
For sure.
So as he's kind of flying ahead and we're coming up around the bend, down this direction, you see more natural bluish glowing light coming in. And if you were to get right there where you are, Darcy, you're there. We see into this spot, and like kind of as you see this, we're walking around. We're walking at like normal pace. We're not trying to stealth. You do see a well-lit a figure here. Its back is turned, but it is a figure that looks like... The first thing you'd notice is, I mean, it's about y'all's size. It's like a smallish, like halfling-sized, gnomish-sized creature. And it has its arms out, and it looks like it's in the seated position, but you can notice unmistakably its bottom, where it's sitting, is lifted off of the ground. It is floating in the air, kind of like bobbing slightly as you sit there for a second, seeing it in this like kind of natural bluish glowing light. Its back is turned, and it has its arms out, just kind of sitting there. And you notice that it has like greenish scales on its back. Y'all could roll me in nature from this like view to see if you can like ascertain what this creature might be. But it doesn't immediately notice you. It does not notice you at all.
Is it possible to give me control over the zombies?
Yes, it is. So it's another tab to open. So who rolled a high one?
Oh, 22.
So Aldrich, you do recognize this creature. This is... Let me get the Pokedex answer for you. But this is a Kuotoa. Kuotoa are fish-like monstrous humanoids that typically dwell in the Underdark, and they're typically aquatic. And all of us will remember, or mainly you, because you recognize this. Darcy, you, even with that, you don't have an immediate image of this creature in your mind, seeing it from the back and from this distance, but Aldrich does. You would remember in that first dungeon that we went through, at the end when we kind of came across that giant statue with its hands outstretched, and we ended up finding the map within it, or the scroll of the map in it, and the room filled with water, and it was like this whole thing, and I think there was a manticore. That whole fight, the things that were attacking us that were coming from the earth were skeletal figures, and we later ascertained that those were skeletal figures of Kuotoa. So they were undead Kuotoa skeletons. And this is a Kuotoa in the flesh.
Huh.
Guys, it's a Kuotoa in the flesh. Do you know if they're harmless?
You would know Kuotoa are not harmless. And
Okay.
they typically are like... Their strength is in numbers. This is obviously a single one, and it's small. Like you would not see this as that big of a threat, but they're not good creatures. They're kind of variable, depends on who's leading them, but they are highly impressionable and usually led. You would know those things based on that nature roll as well.
Do we want to capture it?
It is floating here.
Do you want to capture is what you asked?
That's what I asked.
Are you
I
guys,
guess
are you
you're
guys
not
just like saying this out loud?
No,
I said,
I'm whispering it. We're all holed up around the corner. I got major illusion now, so I can put out like a juicy smelling steak for him and lure him somewhere.
well, we
can
know they
jump, we
like
can
to
jump on him.
they like to run in packs, so I'm worried that if we go for one, that a lot of the other ones are gonna potentially run out as well. I don't know if we can handle them all. Actually, we probably can handle them all. I think.
We have to put a sock in his mouth.
My mouth or in
No, in his mouth.
Okay.
Why the fuck would it be your
I
mouth?
don't know.
It's pretty solid content.
Yeah, I'm down to see you try to lure it with your
I mean,
illusionist magics.
if not, we can just keep moving.
No, we're
Keep
definitely
moving,
gonna try to
kill
lure
it,
it. No,
and capture it. Those are the only
we're
three
capturing it. Yeah, we're gonna try to capture it.
You want to capture it? Okay.
Okay. So what are we doing? We're luring it over here and then trying to
Yeah,
capture
I mean,
it?
is there something that
I guess
is
what
this
I
like a
remember,
pillar?
like what their favorite food is, Dylan, with my nature roll.
I mean, they're like fish-like, so
Something
you would
that would
know
smell good.
they're omnivores, more
Big
so
juicy
tipping
bug?
predators.
Yeah, did you see
Maybe some,
bug or a
maybe
worm?
some
Maybe?
sardines.
Ooh, okay.
Can we hide behind this? I want to put some smelly something that smells good to him over here, or even up here, and then we can.
And then
we'll be behind him.
my zombies can jump on them.
Yeah, make sure they keep quiet.
Yeah, they do whatever I say. It's fine.
Okay.
But
Okay,
they
so
are
you're
kind of
gonna
smelly,
put-
so he may smell them.
Your illusions can produce smell. Is what I'm
Correct.
assuming. Okay.
Can
Do you
now.
get major illusion for free?
No, I gotta spend a third level slot on it.
It's
Okay,
okay, worth it.
Stupid.
Well,
it's
we're at the
really
start of the
dumb. That's
dungeon,
why.
so maybe not. Maybe not.
I mean, I can do a
Third level
minor
slot?
illusion.
Yeah, let's do a minor one. Let's do minor.
Okay, let's
Does
do a
minor produce
I can
smells?
create a sound. I can create a
Okay.
sound and an object.
Create the sound of sardines.
I'll like create like a big. I mean it. I mean I said yeah that doesn't make sense. I can at least put like a. Fish mostly eat bugs. I'm sure I can make like a bug and make like a cricket sound. Basically, I want to make a big cricket. Not too big though. Big enough to where he would be appetized.
Cricket. Okay. So how are we gonna position? Assuming the zombies are back here. I gave them control to you, Darcy. So you can try to move them if you can.
Okay, so I'm gonna move him over here. Fuck, I need to learn this. I've got like a bunch of like improved shit because of my necromancy.
Can we hide behind here? Can we all fit?
Yep. I would say
Okay.
when you do this and if it turns
We'll
around and
put the
starts
cricket out
approaching,
here.
we're all gonna have to roll stealth.
Okay, that's fine. I get advantage on stealth with my boots, and I move silently.
Okay. So this is produced, and you do see it almost instantly. Its hands retract into its body, and its butt hits the ground, and it gets up, it turns around, and it starts approaching.
Okay.
And you notice when it gets about here, it stops. And I guess Darcy and Bud are the ones that have best line of sight to like notice. And it stops, and it seems like it's just sitting there, eyes open. You see its front half now, and has a fish-like face, bulbous eyes, and you see its mouth kind of bobbing up and down while it walks, and it has like sharp teeth. It's a figure you've seen in books before. Aldrich would know it best. And sits there for a moment, and then it bolts. It fucking runs, and it starts running. It's gonna run through. Looks like the illusion. I mean, y'all could act at this point.
All right, the zombies are gonna try to
Zombies
stop
tackle.
it, block its path, and grapple it.
Okay. So
One sec.
anybody else could take a reaction in this moment where you see it bolt for like another for 15 or so 20 feet, and then we could all.
Yeah,
take
I
a
want to try to
reaction.
trip it with my staff.
I'm looking for a reaction I can do.
All right, I'm gonna treat a trip like a grapple, so you could roll a athletics check to see if you get there in time and get your staff underneath it to stop it.
Yeah, I mean it's like a ghostly floating.
Wait, what
Right.
happened? Sorry, I had to open the door for food. Wait, do I need to do anything?
No,
Alright.
I'm trying
Not
to
yet,
trip it.
depending on what you're gonna do with your zombies. Okay,
I'm
so
just-
it hurdles your staff and it keeps running, and it gets to the zombies.
Is it running or floating?
I said it whenever, as soon as the thing was produced, it dropped down. It was like sitting in like a meditative pose that looked like floating, facing the other way. The illusion was produced. It put its hands down, and it dropped back to the ground, got up, started walking towards the illusion kind of like cautiously, stopped, sat there for a moment, kind of like twitching its eyes, and just has a blank expression on its face. And then its face changed to one of determination, and it started running. And now y'all are taking reactions. Bud tried to trip it. It hurtles over it. Now it comes upon these two zombies that shamble out into its way. It's like, "Grr." And it's now got both of its legs kind of like power stanced, and it's like doing little like juke, getting ready to like try to get around these things because it doesn't know what to do now. It was definitely running. It's now like in the space of your illusionary grasshopper thing, and it just ran through it. Your illusionary cricket, you said, kind of
Yep.
blurred, and it just ran right through it. And now it's facing up with the zombies. So, what are you going to direct them to do, Darcy?
we're trying to capture it, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, I'm gonna try to get them to grapple it.
Okay, so we'll do it one at a time. I say the first one comes forward first and tries to corral it. So you could roll a athletics.
I guess it's just strength.
Yeah, strength check for the zombie. This is what shows up.
Fuck. Nice.
Okay, so this first one is able to. It just puts both of its zombie arms around it and grabs it as it's leaping by, and You see it kind of slip for a second. This thing is moist. Its skin is like dripping like water, kind of like condensation, and almost squeezes out. And the zombie clamps down and gets its legs and thighs, and it is grappled, and it brings it to the ground. So I'd say it's grappled like right here. And then as soon as it is caught and in that position, it starts. I don't know how to make that sound, but it starts. Does anybody speak Undercommon? Just by chance?
I don't think so.
No.
It starts making this just gargling, just insufferable sound out of its mouth.
I was checking. I do.
Screaming it out of its little fish mouth, bobbing it open, and it's screaming it, past the zombie, past you, Darcy, just like clearly willing its head where it was trying to run. And Aldrich, you understand this garbling nonsense, just terrible sound. It is screaming for help.
Ooh.
I used the other zombie to smother its mouth.
Okay, I'll say that's another like grapple type check because you're trying to corral it, put your hand right on its mouth.
Do I have advantage because it's already grappled?
It is subdued.
Sure.
Just put a zombie sock in its mouth.
So you do corral it, but it gets like it keeps slipping away and it keeps shouting pretty loudly for this like level of creature and for this small of a creature, I guess. And it gets several more calls in before that echo down the tunnel behind you before the zombie's able to clamp it. It is it's more dexterous than you'd think, and it's all slippery because it's wet.
I think we may have made a mistake.
Again, goes and inspects this area pretty quickly and then comes back over here. Alright, so what are y'all doing with this squirming little Kuatoa?
What exactly was the plan here?
Undercommon.
What'd you say, John?
I try to speak to him in Undercommon.
Okay.
So I say, hey, we're your friends. There's no need to scream. So he's muted now, right? I mean, at least we have him like silenced.
Yeah, the hand's on his mouth. He can't talk.
I'm gonna say nod your head if you're not gonna yell anymore.
Its eyes are just kind of darting around, and it's looking past you and around you, and it's still like squirming, and you can tell just by the nature of its body it's tensing, and it's trying to break free of this zombie's grasp.
Look, buddy, these zombies aren't gonna hurt you. We're your friends.
It's like it actually looks at you. At
Buddy,
that point.
you can't break these cuffs. Don't try.
It continues to try.
What exactly are we achieving here?
We didn't know if it was like intelligent and had some. John, you can Aldrich, you can communicate, right?
Yeah.
Just say, where's the loot?
Alright, I do it in Undercommon. I'm like, where's the loot room?
It keeps reacting to you the same way. You can't really tell if it's even acknowledging what you're saying. It's focused on like trying to escape.
I'm gonna tell the party it's playing difficult. He doesn't want to tell us where the loot room's at.
Okay. Why don't we tie a rope around his waist and then we let him pull us to the next, like a place of he's clearly running somewhere. Let him
I think he's gonna be running to his friends
to
or
the
trying to
next
get his
room
friends, but
maybe true.
how
Hostage.
many of us have fireball now?
I do.
Like, destroy him.
We can blaze this whole place up.
Yeah.
So one thing that does happen.
I hate to break it to you, but I think we should kill this thing.
One thing that does happen kind of while this is happening is Gin walked over here and he started to walk back, and then he kind of stopped in the middle right here, and you see kind of a different expression on his face as he kind of it's like almost like he noticed something or heard something, and he looks at the Kuatoa, he looks at these other patches of this bulbous fungi, the same that we saw before. It's just a different organization and outgrowths over in the tunnel over here. And he speaks psychically to Bud. And Aldridge, he would call out to y'all using his mental ability to speak, and he'd say, hey, come over here. There's something, it's oddly benign. It's something, there's an effect over here, he would say to y'all.
Okay.
So whenever y'all walk over here around where Gin is, roll an Arcana check. So Aldrich, like, both of these rolls are to kind of figure out like kind of what this is. Yeah, Darcy, if you approached as well, you kind of see the
plus
rest of the
2.
party, and the zombies kind of have the thing. So you lead
I get
into
plus
it.
2 on that, by the way. It's 16 because of Verislav.
Okay, so Bud and Darcy, you kind of notice this more so than Aldridge, but all 3 of you feel it. This is just, the role is kind of to make sense of what this is. But you can feel, it's not an intrusion, it's more of like an empowered sense of these being in the midst, the glow of this small enclosed space. And Gin, based on like kind of how he reacted, you kind of understand that now because you're reacting the same way. You feel more intelligent. Like there's some psychic like effect going on in your mind that it doesn't hurt, but it also doesn't feel good, but you feel like more intelligent almost. And Bud and Darcy, you can both tell that like this would make you more effective at doing the things you do best. Not necessarily Gin. Gin just feels it and he like noticed it. But I mean the wizards, y'all all would understand that like essentially while you're standing in this spot, 5 feet back, you weren't just experiencing this, but you're standing in this spot around Gin, you all have +1 to your intelligence just like standing here and like almost like in an aura.
Does it seem like it's coming from the fungus?
I mean, you can't tell, like there's no like beam of light coming out of it, but you know standing in this spot, you're surrounded by 3 patches of this and the glow is kind of emanating all about you. And like Gin kind of, before y'all even walked over, he was like walking back and then walked back both ways. And he definitely like changed his expression. If y'all did the same, you could tell like it goes away. The feeling goes away as soon as you're out of the area. And it's definitely psychic in nature. It's kind of like whenever you get hit by like a psychic spell, you can tell it's psychic damage. It's kind of like that, where it's like this isn't damage, but you know what you're experiencing, and that Arcana check helps. So it's psychic in nature, and that's what you experience. So then Gim would come back, and y'all could continue.
Well, that was weird.
Right, back to this fish stick guy. Well, should we try to take the fish stick over here and make him more intelligent? Maybe we could talk to him?
Gin has his like hands around his chin. He's like, Fish Stick. That's a good name. You're named Fish Stick now, he says psychically to the creature.
Alright. Let's take the fish stick over to that. Oh, I want to make sure it's okay. But I guess the zombies have hold of him, so it's not my choice. But I say we try to drag the zombies into the, or not the zombies, but drag the fish stick into the intelligence aura and see if he's smarter to talk to us.
So you want me to you want my zombies to bring the fish man to the place that it makes him smarter?
Yes.
This is a weird fucking dungeon, but okay. And I command the zombies to take him over.
Whenever you shift position with the zombies that are both kind of holding him, you can roll another grapple for each of them, so it's essentially advantage. And he's going to roll to like try to get out as you move him. But I mean, this is going to be difficult. As you direct the zombies to move him, roll grapple checks again for both zombies.
Yep.
He rolled really low, so this is going to be pretty easy.
God damn it. Did you get some zombie hotkey?
You can make a hotkey for rolling 20s in general. Yeah, zombie hotkey. Okay, so they are able to move him. So
Get him to the intelligence aura.
Move him down there. Okay. So nothing changes other than you do notice, and Darcy, you're kind of attuned to this, seeing how they're your minions. The zombies walk into the aura with the Kuoto. They're kind of holding him by like his arms and still one hand over his mouth. And they kind of present him here, and they stop as you direct them to stop. The Kuotoa's eyes start glowing, which is something you noticed whenever it was meditating, whenever it first turned around. But then it went away as soon as it like started walking towards the illusion. But Darcy, you also notice your 2 zombies. They walk into the middle, and they kind of like slowly like and like turn and look at each other, and then they're like and then they shake their heads.
Just to be clear, my zombies have an intelligence of 3, so it's just 4 now.
Yeah. So they feel that uptick of like 25%, and they're like,
That's freaking solid.
They're like, and then they stop and like and they go back. Like if that kept going, maybe the zombs would get somewhere, but they don't.
Right.
Yeah.
So like, I want to try to talk to him again and be like, "Hey, are you gonna talk to us now?"
Well, you get the sense that
he's not going to.
He wasn't talking to you in the first place because he was in survival mode and he was trying to run and he was frantic. And 2, No, you never directed the zombies to get his hands off of his mouth.
Yeah, I
Oh.
know, but
Yeah. Well, I want him to communicate through like nodding of head and things like that. I don't want him to like. Yeah, I don't want the hands off the mouth yet, because then he'll just yell. I'm worried he'll yell. I guess if I try to talk to him, is he still in his frantic mode? Like, he looks like he's just gonna yell if we take his hands, if we take the zombie's hands off.
I mean, Gin would walk up and he would just put his hand out, and he's kind of just like an eldritch little like darkness would appear in the center of it, and he'd just put it right up next to its head. And he'd be like, Aldrich, if you want to talk to it, I think this is the state we should be in. Essentially, just a clear threat of, I'm gonna blow your head off if you scream.
All right, again, well,
I love
I'm not gonna stop you.
Bad cop, Gan. I'm in. Hey, look, this guy's, you know, I'm on your side here, but this guy's a loose cannon.
There's no promises of what will or won't happen if we let him loose on you. So you're
You
gonna
can't
talk to us, or
understand
you're gonna
anything
talk
I'm
to
saying,
him.
But trust me, you don't want to fuck with this guy.
Yeah, Gin would just like he just give it two dagger eyes, and it's like looking up at him. It's like, whoa.
Alright.
And then like it slowly, the zombie's hand slowly releases, and it's like little fish mouth is revealed, and it's just staring up at Gin, and then it stares at you, Aldrich, and then it stares again, and it's just kind of in a frantic mode, but it's not screaming.
Okay. See, I told you we're your friends. We're not gonna hurt you.
Not friends. Intruders.
Intruders.
We got an invitation.
Yeah, I guess I'll
There are no invitations here.
Well, we're here.
He
Somebody invited us. Why else would we
it
be here?
Well,
Yeah,
you
but
don't
you
speak
can't-
Undercommon, do you, bud, actually?
No, I'm feeding it through.
So Aldrich says that, and then,
Yeah.
and then he speaks
And then
to
you're done
Aldrich.
talking. Does he respond to
What did you
what
say?
I said?
What did you say?
I said what he said exactly, word for word.
So he said, invitation, there's no invitations here. And then what was the other thing?
What was the other thing?
I just said, why else would we have come down here?
Yeah, he wouldn't explicitly
There's
respond.
no other reason.
Do you live here?
Yes.
What is that fungus?
He kind of looks at it, and then hesitates and kind of just shakes his head.
I'm gonna converse with the party again. Why the hell are we here again? I gotta try to interrogate this guy.
This
I
was
need
y'all's,
y'all's help.
this was y'all's idea. I'm just here holding him down with my zombies.
Okay.
Harold
Let's kill him.
and Catherine.
Okay, I want to ask: are you familiar with a loot room?
Hmm.
So point in the direction.
Tell me where the shiny things are.
He just doesn't understand when you say loot room. Just blank confusion on his face.
Take
No,
me to your
I'm gonna
leader.
rephrase it. Room of loot. I'm gonna rephrase it a couple different ways. See if he picks up on that
He just
verbiage.
says,
Maybe it's a language barrier.
Please let me go. Please just let me go.
We're not done with you yet. Is there a lot of dangerous stuff in this cave that you're aware of? I mean, obviously we haven't been in here before, and we're just trying to look out for friends. We're helping you out. We're not hurting you.
Foreign.
Just want we want the
Spelunking.
His eyes just bulge.
Yes.
He's like, dangerous. No, dangerous. No
Is he lying?
dangers. No dangers.
Can I see?
Can I do
if
an
he's
insight check on that?
Mm-hmm. He doesn't seem like he's telling the truth necessarily. I mean, from your perspective, he could just be saying exactly what you want to hear.
Okay, guys, I think he's just saying exactly what we want to hear. What should we do with this guy? I don't know if we can get too much more out of him. He's not really talking much about the cave.
Darcy, you want to kill him?
I don't know if we should kill him, but I'm worried that he's gonna get his buddies and jump us later.
We're gonna have to kill him.
Yeah, that seems like what's gonna happen.
Okay, Aldrich, tell him we're gonna kill him.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell him.
Gin would say.
I mean, we might actually get some information out of him. We got one last chance. Spook him. Right? I
Again-
mean,
Gin would say whenever Bud's asking in like common, knowing this thing probably doesn't understand us, assuming it doesn't speak common because it's saying this in this guttural voice that only Aldrich is understanding. Gin would say out loud to you, and he's like, "I don't really see a reason to keep such a creature alive. Personally, these are no friends to the surface races. These are, and Aldrich, you know this as well. Like these creatures." they're almost always under the employ of evil figures to do their bidding, and they're no different than the goblins of old, you might say.
Is this a pit?
Just fish
Over
goblins. No, that's just a stone,
Okay.
stone-like pillar. These are no different than the goblins of old. We'd be doing the world a favor by killing it.
Well, and votes to
no,
kill. What do y'all vote for? Let's do it as a group. The zombies have a vote.
Yeah, let's just have the have your 2 zombs. Just smother them.
I don't know if the 3/5 law has been passed for zombies or not at this point.
The zombies are literally under my control and don't
They
have
don't feel
mine.
anything,
They
right?
don't exist without me. So
Okay.
I'm gonna take that as no.
No blood on my hands then.
all right. Well, this was just a colossal waste of time, everybody.
All right, well, fish
All
stick.
right. I
Thanks
command
for all your
Start
help.
my
walking
zombies
the
to
other way
attack.
so he doesn't hear all the screams.
Do what?
I command my zombies to attack.
Okay.
I haven't had time to make a button yet.
You could just roll me 2 attacks, d20s, plus, I'm assuming their attack rolls like +3 or something.
It's +3, but I have it. My Daria's band adds 1, so it's +4. Roll 1d20 +4. It's an 11/roll 1. Is he flanked?
I mean, I'm going to say his AC is not going to be what his AC normally is in this situation, so it's not going to take much for you to hit him. Yeah, so these zombies essentially rip him apart. And you guys, everybody's just watching it, and he just gets kind of disemboweled in front of you. And once the deed is done, you could command the zombies to do what zombies do or whatever you want. But kind of
I'm
snaps
gonna
his
cast
neck.
animate. I'm gonna cast animate dead and make 2 more zombies.
Okay. on the corpse
Yep.
of the Kuotoa?
I have fish zombies now.
Okay. So you can produce 2 from a single corpse?
Yeah, that's the trait I just got.
Okay.
You got a fish zombie now? Okay. That's definitely a plus that came out of this situation. We didn't get the loot room, but we got more zombie friends.
So how much health these zombies have?
So the average health is 22, and then I add another bonus for my trait is I add my wizard level to their health, so 28.
Okay. Okay. You have a small army.
I'm like the witch doctor from Diablo.
Yeah.
I'm going to expend a spell slot. All right.
So I'm gonna RP this as this like Kuotoa gets ripped a bit, and then it rips down the middle, and the rest of its body kind of forms from like loose flesh using the other one, and you have 2 half-seas Kuotoa zombies now following you that you have control of their tokens.
I don't have. Okay, yeah. Oh wait, yeah, I do have control. All right.
How many zombies can you have at one time?
Currently I can have 6.
Nice.
God, that's gonna be hell to fucking control in combat.
They can only do one thing, so I have to attack with one. I can only attack like one thing with all of them.
Oh, okay.
My pretties.
I didn't realize you could have that many. That's wild. Okay, so if y'all continued going down, I would assume, then the other way.
Root is flying ahead.
Okay, so Root flies ahead, and he gets to another decision point here. 2 paths you can take. But Root's keen hearing.
Oh God. All right. Well, I'm allowed to have this many zombies.
What? As many zombies?
I'm allowed to have this many zombies. But I was looking at like level 20, and like you could get like on day 1 like a total of 42 skeletons, 14 ghouls, 2 whites, and 6 mummies.
Jeez. At level 20, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, army leader. So y'all can move your characters up. I don't want to move everyone. It like slows down my computer when I do. So, Root gets here, sees winding path, and then some more glowing fungi, and then you also see some more strange things. And Root would have heard, and you would have probably relayed to the party, this way, Root heard sounds, and from your ears, can you hear through Root? I think I rolled that you could.
Yes.
So through your ears, you understand it to be very similar to the sounds that the little Kuotoa guy was just saying, and from Aldrich, you would know that's Undercommon. You hear Undercommon coming from this direction.
Okay.
Which direction? I didn't see the ping.
this way.
All right. Do we want to slay some more Kuatoa or?
And then what you see right here is just these look much closer to. It's just like a green, just slimy sphere. That if you look closer, it's a little bit translucent. You can see figures inside. These just look straight up like eggs. These things.
What do you guys want to do?
We can go play with the Kuatoa, but I don't want to waste like spell slots on them, unless unless Darcy wants some more Kuatoa zombies.
That's
the only
okay.
thing.
I'd like to not spend all of my spell slots.
Oh shit, yeah, that's true. Okay. Let's go not their way. Or, okay, you could send your Kuatoa zombies in to scout. Maybe they'll fit in.
They're torn in half and I'm dead, Aldrich.
It's up to you. That's all I'm saying. If you don't want to, then no.
I'm happy to send them into the scout, but I wouldn't expect them to be inconspicuous.
Well, maybe they'll. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's just go the other route then.
No,
Good.
we can send them.
You got the control.
All right. So which way did you want to scout?
The right is where the Kuatoa were.
Also, I'm not entirely sure that I can like see through my zombie's eyes.
Yeah, I was about to ask
okay.
that. I don't
think I can.
I don't think you can. I think you have to like kind of have sight on them in order to like direct them and do things. Theoretically, you could have one just like go a direction, and you could command it to just go as far as it can. But once it got out of sight, out of mind, I mean, you have a telepathic link with them. Like, yeah, I guess I'd need to read the spell.
I don't think I can scout with them.
Okay, let's not scout them. The route, non-Kuatoa route. Did we go down that way?
As y'all are sitting here deciding, kind of going back and forth on the nature of zombie scouts, you can roll me a perception. So Aldrich, you pick it up pretty cleanly. You hear the voices that Bud had said were coming from this direction, kind of echoing down the hall in the distance. They're much closer now, and you hear in Undercommon one voice say, "Next time you should be more confident." And they sound a little bit closer, coming from this direction.
Hey guys, there's voices coming from that direction.
And these steps lead down, it looks like, right here.
So we gotta make a decision quick. Sounds like they're coming this way.
And Darcy, you hear it as well, but it's more like...
Is there any cover in this area? Is it just a standard tunnel? No, nowhere to hide or anything?
I mean, there's not nowhere to hide. It's just you'd have to hide around like a wall or something. Like there's all these like natural walls everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should back up. I think we should back up.
Yep.
Want to go here?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go here and wait. The fucking entire army moving.
So y'all going back here? Okay.
Yeah, like hiding behind the wall and waiting for them to walk out.
Okay.
I don't know. I say if they just come this way, we gotta ambush them. Like I don't want them to chase us back out of the cavern.
So where is Root?
I'm gonna have Root. I mean, Root has perfect vision, right?
He's got
I don't know. I
pretty
mean,
good vision.
I'm gonna put him as like a sentry. He's gonna alert us.
I'll get Root's token out.
Where do you think I should put him? Do you think I should put him here, or do you think I should put him in like the open so that?
How tall, I guess, is this cave? Like how high is the?
Like, can Root go up on the? Can he hang like a bat upside down in the dark corner?
Root hanging like a bat. I mean, no.
The answer is yes.
There's a 0%
Birds can
chance
do that.
No one's expecting us to spend 30
They
minutes.
can't do it for as long as a bat, but they can do it.
I think he could like hang on like the side. He couldn't hang vertically upside down. I don't think.
Okay.
The
I'll have him
stone he
hang
could
on
really
the
get a
side.
purchase on. But I mean,
Okay.
so he's gonna be. Can you control it, or can only I move it? I don't know if you can control
I
it.
think you have to give me control.
I know, but I thought I would have already given you control a long time ago.
Would I still have it?
You
Me too.
should.
No, I can't.
You should have control now. So wherever Root is, Root's like, I'm guessing he's waiting. He's in hiding. He's sitting there. He's pretty small. So, and it's a dark cavern. So pretty soon you see climbing up these steps a group of Kuatoa, same type of creature you saw before, and they're all carrying spear-like objects, and they are walking up these steps, walking through, making their way downtown, walking fast.
Okay. I'm relaying what I'm seeing to the team. saying prepare some shit. There's 4 of them marching down.
So,
I want Root to fly. I want him to go this way
okay, and become
Make a-
visible.
and make a little noise.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to lead him back up this side so that if we can blank him, ambush him.
So,
Okay.
roll me a perception, Aldridge. Everyone hears they're talking as we walk by, but to everyone but Aldridge, it's that's undercommon now. Aldrich, you hear like one word, and this is right before Root is directed to fly away, but you hear like it's a group of voices, you can't make anything out, and all you hear is like, look, when, and then he's like, hey, what was that? And then they all start kind of double timing it, not sprinting, but they saw something and they're going that direction.
Right now, I'm just imagining playing like a Batman like game, and we're just like trying to like sneak around. He's like, "Huh, what was that?" Just have to like film with Root.
That's precisely what's happening. Okay, so they're following Root. So Root, on the edge of this darkness, Root sees passageway leading up a couple steps, and then it leads into just cobwebs covering the entire chasm here. There's just cobwebs that turn into kind of thicker, very clearly spider webs. So what are you doing with Root?
There's fucking cobwebs.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay. I wanna.
Remember, your character's blind, and
Yeah,
Root is how you see.
I know. Okay, Root. I want Root to like turn around and fly as fast as he can at the
So
top.
I will say, you are telling Root to do this, but at the same time, the party could also do something.
Yeah.
They can also what?
The party could also do something at the same time.
Should we
You
jump?
know if Root flies back,
Yeah, they're gonna
towards
be
the
facing
enemy,
us. Yeah.
something might happen.
Okay, I'm
won't
gonna
be
have
good
Root go a
for
little
Root.
closer. So I mean, I can move a bit closer, right? Like Root's not already at the edge.
Right. So the cobwebs
Okay.
start like right here.
Okay,
and it
I'm
gets
gonna have
pretty
Root
thick after
go. I'm gonna have Root go farther,
Okay.
and then I signal to the group like we gotta go, like we gotta jump on him.
that. Okay. So they're gonna move a little bit more up, carrying that shit with me. So they're gonna get like right there, kind of circling the corner, and then we're taking an action. So I would say this would be like a surprise round.
Okay.
Well, not a ton I can do from this distance with my zombies. Okay.
President, do we need to roll initiative?
After your surprise round, yeah.
Okay. So.
We should roll first anyway to see who does what first.
No, I don't really care what order it's in, because y'all are all just going. If you want to like go after someone, you could just say you're going after them.
I want to cast fireball. Or no, sorry, flaming spear.
Okay, I was like, who's gonna
I'm
do
gonna
the
Roomba.
spell first?
I'm gonna cast Roomba right here.
Okay.
So it's not letting me. It's weird. It's not letting me. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Damn, that's some pretty high quality graphic right there.
Oh shit!
Look at that, man. I just
Where'd
searched.
that come from?
Yeah.
I own that now.
Shit.
No more
because I
fucking little
bought-
baby line anymore now.
I bought
We got
a
real shit.
subscription to something a long time ago, and that's included in it. It says subscription set. So,
All right. So I'm casting a level 2 flaming sphere.
you
So
have
it's 5
control.
foot. Yep. It appears in an unoccupied space, and then any creature that ends its turn within 5 feet of the sphere must make a dexterity saving throw. The creature takes 2d6 fire damage on failed save, half as much. As a bonus action, I can move it up to 30 feet and ram it into people, and they must make a save against. Okay. So yeah, I cast it there, and then I'm gonna ram it into this one.
okay, you can move it if you want. I think
Okay.
you have control of it now.
Save is
So-
Dex 14.
Dex. You roll that damage.
So that's 2d6.
Dex. Oh, okay. So you actually like it kind of turns as this flaming sphere is approaching it, and it fucking trips, and it like goes down to a knee as this just blasts into it and takes full damage.
Voice.
It's 2d6 at level 2.
Correct.
Level
2d6.
2, it is a level 2 spell, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a level 2. I cast it
Oh,
at
okay, it's
level
alright.
2.
So that
It's
crisps-
3d6 at level 3.
That crispies it a little bit. It doesn't die, but that hits it full force, and it calls out, and like they all kind of turning as this is happening, but we're all taking our actions.
Okay.
Gin's gonna shoot some Eldritch Blasts at 2 of them. Holy shit.
Jesus.
Really low, double 1, and then almost max damage. Okay, so he's aiming at the back 2. He's aiming at Flaming Spear dude, and then the one right in front of him. And boom, boom, and they each get thrown. Actually, I have it not coded in, but that does plus my charisma bonus. Plus 4 to each of those.
Oh shit.
So the first one hits the guy you just Flaming Speared for like a little bit of damage. And he gets slammed into the wall. It actually knocks him out of the Flaming Spear area. He gets slammed in the wall right there. Takes 6. And then this guy, this guy gets slammed ahead a little bit and takes way more damage. And he does not look good at all. And then whoever else hasn't gone.
I would like.
They're both still alive, right?
Yep.
Okay. Go ahead, John.
I want to just do a. What's it called? Well, I'm gonna create a bonfire in the middle of them. So like here.
It's a bonfire. I think I had that song at some point.
We definitely played it at one point.
I thought my computer just started like fucking glitching out when you made that noise. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Maybe we should ditch Hangies. Maybe Hangies is trash.
I don't
It's
know.
real bad.
Well, the problem with
Did you make a noise, Dylan?
Discord cuts out. Discord cuts out even more than Hangies. It's fucking terrible. But yeah, I don't know. We can change it maybe later.
I'm gonna make one here.
Okay. I'm gonna use
They have
something
to-
else for bonfire, I guess. I don't want to use the same thing.
Dex save 15 or take 1d8.
These are huge. Look at this. How big is this going to be? Okay, it's really small. I thought that says 20 foot. So I guess I can make it a lot bigger to make like that's like the fireball one. That's cool though. But it's going to be bonfire size. So you're putting it where?
Right there, yeah. So it reaches 5 feet. Wait, it's a 5-foot cube. Never mind. So 5-foot
So
cube.
you have to throw it on something to do damage.
Yeah.
So which one are you hitting?
I'm gonna hit the one in the back and kind of like make an area where you can't like escape from. That makes sense? Like along the wall, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So he rolls at the beginning of his own turn.
No, now and at the beginning of his turn.
Okay. So that's a dex.
Dex of 15.
Ooh, he passes it with flying colors. He kind of like leaps out of the way. The thing singes his toes, but he looks like pretty deft athlete, apparently. That's the one that got hit really bad by the Eldritch Blast and actually got knocked back. So he was kind of, I guess, more ready for that. The RP behind that really good roll.
How do I make a macro?
You go to the gear icon thing.
Yeah.
No. The macro. There's a macro.
Oh, I see. I'm
tab.
stupid.
Yeah, it's next to the gear icon.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was in the gear icon. Okay, now everybody can roll initiative if Darcy is done as well.
I
You're the only one
I
who
haven't
can
done
go, right?
anything. I'm gonna go ahead and Toll the Dead on. This is the guy that got hit by the Eldritch Blast and Flaming Spirit.
Yep, that guy, closest guy.
Okay.
Make sure to click your tokens before you hit initiative.
Oh fuck.
So Toll the Dead is a wisdom saving throw. Oh, that thing is wise as fuck. It actually, as this is happening, it feels it and it turns back and looks at you. And it seemingly knows exactly where that came from. It can it already sees these zombies coming out, but it looks in y'all's direction. That's a fuckload of damage, but it's gonna take 0 because it rolled a natural 20.
God damn it.
Okay, so now surprise round is over. So all your zombies move during your turn, or do they roll their own initiative?
They moved during my turn,
Okay.
and I can only command them to do the same thing.
Okay. So I need Bud and Darcy to roll initiatives.
Yeah, sorry, one sec. God damn it. All right, there we go.
That's your initiative.
No, that's I was testing the macro. Sorry. This is my initiative.
Let me switch up this music. I got all the Oblivion tracks in here. That's it, but it's enough.
It's like all Matt uses.
Yeah. So I actually found. I did some research because I saw there's something called the Midnight Syndicate official D&D soundtrack. It's like something that got made in like the late 90s where it's like some band or group made a soundtrack to D&D. It's like they encourage people to go and play this while playing the game in person and stuff on like a speaker or whatever. And all of the early music that you would recognize, that you definitely know from Critical Role, was Matt using that. He used Oblivion like during downtime, but all the battle music that's like da-na-na, bum, 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 like that's all from this official D&D soundtrack.
There,
So I was thinking about downloading that.
Yeah.
Also, I need to go still in like a couple minutes. Just realized it was 9:03.
Okay.
Damn it.
Right when things are getting good.
Run
Follow
into
the
one
hammer.
round of combat.
So, Bud, did you roll?
Yeah, I rolled an 18.
Oh, you rolled it for your flaming sphere. That's hilarious. I'm gonna leave it. Your flaming sphere.
Wait, oh. God damn it.
So you go first.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay,
So they're all startled now. You got hit with some fire. You got 2 Eldritch Blasts that hit them. You got a Toll the Dead that it kind of resists it off, and they're all facing you now with their spears at the ready. They look like a little bit more heavily armored, like more
Okay.
well-adjusted figures of the little simpleton Kuatoa that y'all dismembered, and is now each half is walking with y'all. So they
Okay.
look like a little bit more sturdy.
I want to cast Firebolt at this guy.
Firebolt. Okay.
Firebolt. Come on. Damn it.
No, it does.
On 2d10?
Oh, sorry. I saw the 12. You hadn't even rolled yet. 19 definitely
Yeah.
hits.
And then 3 is 2. Jesus.
You rolled really low.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I rolled a 2 on my my Eldritch Bolt earlier.
1 and a
Eldritch
2.
Blast.
Okay.
So you hit
So-
this guy. This guy's already been hit by a lot. He's the most damage of all of them.
Okay.
So that hits him, and he gets even more singed. Some of his scales
not
are like
dead.
falling off. Not dead yet. Still clutching his spear.
Okay.
He's gurgling in his.
Okay.
Your comment.
I'm gonna ram. I'm gonna ram him with my bonus action. Maroomb.
Okay. So Dex saving throw.
Yep. 14 is what it is.
They have a +0 on Dex, but that is going to pass with flying colors. Roll the natural, good roll, 19. So
Okay. So you get
takes
half
half.
damage.
So he takes another 3. So he gets whittled down a little bit more. This fire is just licking at him. He's not feeling good.
Okay.
So Aldrich,
That's it for me.
Firebolt.
Firebolt. It's a cantrip party.
Mm-hmm.
Roll me that attack. That is going to
Two.
miss.
Yeah.
You're shooting at the same one. He kind of dodges out of the way. He's getting
And we are really fucking this up.
This guy is going to go. This guy has not been touched yet. No. This is the wrong one. This guy is the guy that has been touched a lot. He is pissed.
Wait, does he start his turn in the flaming sphere?
I guess the Flaming Sphere is Sebastian. I think if they end their turn in the Flaming Sphere, he takes it.
If they end their turn within 5 feet of it.
Okay.
Is it 5 feet? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Flaming sphere, a 5-foot
So,
diameter sphere of
it sees
any
you
creature that ends its
controlling-
turn within 5 feet must make a dex saving throw and take damage.
Okay. It sees you controlling all this fire that's been fucking it up, and it's gonna run at you, just blood crazed. Its scales are falling off. Its charcoal, it like has charcoal like fucking blackened scales coming off, and it runs at you with its spear held aloft. It's gonna make 2 attacks. It drives down its spear, and then it kind of pulls it in, whether it hits or not, and then tries to snap at you with kind of ferocious jaws. So this pincer staff is attacking first. Ooh, shit. Wow. Okay. So it's going to attack you. What is your AC?
It's 12 because I didn't mage armor.
Okay. So this hits pretty easily. And since you're kind of small, it has a fashion on how it is using this pincer staff. It like hits it into you, like into your armor or what your robes, and then kind of twist it, and you are now I mean, it's not a traditional grapple, but it's treated as a grapple. You have 0 movement speed for the moment, and you can try to break this, but it has grappled you with using its pincer staff in kind of a deft way, and then it comes in and bites you. And then you take 6 damage from that pincer attack, and then the bite is going to miss you as it snaps at you. You got the deck out of the way.
Okay.
So you are grappled. You cannot. All grappled means is your movement speed 0. You can try
Okay.
to break out of this with an athletics check. So I'm going to say this is good
On my turn.
on your turn.
Okay.
It's Darcy's
It's
turn.
okay. he's not gonna last their turn. I'm gonna attack with all my zombies. So,
Okay.
he's flanked, right?
Yes. Yeah, he'd be flanked by 3 of those.
I should have done this better. I should have made it an attack.
He's up against the wall, so you can't really get him. I don't think you could flank him with all 4, really. But I mean, three ones with advantage. This is probably going to do it. You can roll all that out though. Just to see how badly.
That's the first one. Second one. Oh, second one's a natural 20. Third one, so I've seen they all hit.
Yeah, so he's 100% dead. How do you want to do this with your zombies? This is Walking Dead. Someone falls into the crowd of zombies, and it shows the gratuitous violence of the dismemberment.
I mean, the thing just gets ripped to pieces. Like, there's just guts flying everywhere.
Aldrich is not pleased by this sight. He's slightly disturbed.
And Eldritch, you actually hear his friends in the back over there see this happening, obviously. And you hear that you understand this. It's undercommon, but you hear say, "No!" And like he says that, you understand undercommon. That is his name, presumably.
Okay.
So you hear as if how everybody else hears it. Okay, and then you have any other actions, Darce?
Yeah, I'm gonna toll the dead while on the guy that's hurt.
Okay, the one in the back, wisdom. That is not gonna pass.
Toll the dead. 14.
14, okay. So that hits him hard. He got hit with the Eldritch Blast earlier, so he's been damaged, but he wasn't as damaged as the other guy. So that does pretty good damage. He's not looking swell as this tolling sound affects him. This guy's turn is next. He's going to run at these zombies that are just tearing into his friend in the middle of it. And it actually pauses as it runs forward and it sees kind of a half-sees Kuotoa zombie. And it looks at that for a second and kind of shakes it off and attacks the more humanoid-looking one before it with a double attack.
I would also take a couple steps back.
Okay. What is the AC of the zombies? It's 8 is what I see on the token.
Yeah, 8.
Okay.
Yes. I don't think they get bonuses.
Okay, so both of these are going to hit. It's going to pincer spear it in the leg. It kind of goes right through the flesh and grapples it, but it only does 3 damage on the pincer attack. And then the bite attack does less. So total of 6 damage to your zombie. I'll update it since it's already on here. So
I got it.
Oh, you already got it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess if you want to take control and keep responsibility of your zombies, you can do that.
Yeah, I'll manage them.
Okay. So 6 damage, she's grappled with the pincer spear through its little meaty leg. And you can already tell, seeing both these attacks, these things are able to use these spears very effectively. That's kind of what they do. Next guy is going to run forward and actually see him like kind of slip by these little bulbous eggs pretty easily. His body just slips right through them in that narrow edge, gets right here and sees the humanoid zombie. Its guy just grappled. It sees the 2 Kuotoa, kind of oddly looks at them the same way, and then it sees you, Bud, sees you controlling spells and whatnot, and it's going to attack you with pincer bite combo. First one hits. Fuck, I just threw that off the table. I'm going to keep that roll. That's a natural 17, so both of these are going to hit, and you're grappled again. And you take 9 points of combination slashing, piercing, and piercing. So you take 9 damage. And then the last one's going to go... It's starting its turn in this, so it takes damage, or does it have to end its turn in the bonfire?
This ends its turn in the bonfire.
Okay, it's definitely not going to end its turn there. So it runs out. Jeez. Gets right here, sees its Kuotoa brethren, kind of sniffs him, does not like what he sees, and he's going to make an attack. And that is going to hit. It's not hard to hit these. That's not even a good roll. He's going to take 6 damage, 6 piercing from the bite, and it is also grappled in the spear.
All right.
And then it's finally Gin's turn, because he rolled like shit. So Gin sees this one pressuring Bud, and this one, and I'm going to kind of get in front knowing I'm mage armored up and a little bit tankier, and I'm going to Eldritch Blast those 2. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so the first one narrowly hits the one that's right in front of Bud, and the second one misses. And this guy gets blasted back 10 feet, takes 12 damage.
Does he get an attack of opportunity?
Forced movement does not
Okay.
trigger that, no. But you do see him get blasted back into these bulbous things. He goes 1, 2. The first one takes the brunt of like this immediate hit, and it explodes into this goop. And you see kind of like a shriveled figure of what looks like kind of a malformed, not quite fully ripened Kuotoa fall out of this first one and kind of starts squirming on the ground. And it's moving, twitching. You can't tell if it's alive or not. And then the second one, it kind of bounces off like a beanbag. But it gets knocked back away from Bud. And I would say, Bud, you're no longer grappled.
Noise.
And then it would be your turn again.
Okay, I gotta run, guys. I was gonna wait for the first round, but I gotta run.
Okay.
So, call it there. Or at least for me.
All right. So